I think we're streaming on TikTok too. Okay, all right, we're live. Let me see where we are live at. Okay, we are live on TikTok. There we go. Make sure we're live on Facebook. Bringing our Facebook boys and girls. Let me switch to my account. All right, perfect. We're live. Babe, can you close the door for me? Can you close the door for me, please? We're live. Perfect. Oof, let's get a good stretching, y'all. Alright, it's all good in the neurodivergent head. Get a good stretching. Use the comment section to let me know where you are checking in from. My name is Kojo. I'm your Hollywood mental health expert. And I am frustrated by the white beater underneath my shirt. I hate it when you wear a white shirt. I hate when you wear a white shirt and then you can see like underneath. It makes me not want to take the shirt off, but whatever. We're still gonna promote the shirt. It's all good. In the neurodivergent hood. Even though I wish it wasn't like this, it's still all good in the neurodivergent hood. All right, so we have our boys and girls checking in from TikTok, Facebook. We are streaming live to LinkedIn. So that's pretty cool. We're streaming live to LinkedIn today. And we're also streaming live to, let me see, I can check that up here. A couple of places. Let me see. YouTube. How could I forget YouTube? Maury, good to see you again. You're holding your pee right now. Natasha from Louisiana. Natasha, how are you? Colorado in the house. Go ahead and use the comment section to let me know where you are streaming from. Let me know where you're from. All right. I know we have some people checking in from Louisiana. We got Colorado in the house. We have California in the house. We got Washington in the house. This is a bit of a different live stream setup. So this is my classic setup, y'all. Leilani from New York. Leilani, it's good to see you. This is my classic live stream setup. When I don't live stream this way, I'm not able to see my YouTubers as well. So Morgan Avoid, it's good to see you. It's good to see all my YouTubers. And I'm able to put the comments on the screen with this live stream feature. I'm actually streaming with the old setup because the new setup wasn't working tonight. So I guess it was meant to be for me to stream with the old late night with Dr. Kojo setup. So that's what we're doing tonight. And it does feel good to see all my YouTubers. We're troubleshooting the old live stream setup, and we will fix that. We've got to fix that because I want to fix it. I've become obsessive about fixing things that have been broken, but that's neither here nor there. We'll fix that live stream setup, and we'll fix it. And Leilani, yes, I will live stream on Twitch. It's like I stopped Twitch live stream. I had so many things to do, so my streak was lost. But on Twitch, I'm a part of the Twitch program where you can stream to other platforms. So I like streaming to more than one platform at a time. Like we're live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. So I can't live stream to Twitch unless I get out of that program. So we will figure some things. And yeah, YouTube should be sending the notifications. I don't know why they don't, but once again, it's neither here nor there. And for my TikTokers, I see we have people checking in from the UK, Bahamas, Louisiana. Okay, so my TikTokers, I can see you on my phone, but we can't see you on the live stream. We can't get your comments on the live stream. So I'll just say that. I'll just say that, but I see y'all TikTokers. I see ya. Let me pull up my list so we can talk about tonight's topic. Tonight's topic, 3 reasons why neurodivergents hold their pee in. All right. I came up with a list of 3 reasons as to why this is the case. All right. So first, let's talk about why neurodivergents do this sort of thing. Okay, but before we get to the actual nitty gritty, let's talk about what this looks like, right? So when you're holding your pee in, okay, this is not you in the restroom, literally holding your pee in, waiting to use the restroom as if there's a line there. No, this is you working on a task and doing something and knowing that you should get up and pee, but you don't want to pee for a couple of specific reasons. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the neurodivergent who can get up to pee, who should get up to pee, but they won't get up to pee. So nothing is impeding you from using the restroom. You can go on your own volition. You just choose not to use the restroom. And you put your bladder under pressure. Some of us don't have the strongest of bladders. I know that my bladder is not that strong, but still, day after day, night after night, I put myself under pressure. How much urine can this bladder hold? How much urine can this bladder hold? Ruth on TikTok is saying, I will not go back to that task. You're getting into the reasons why we hold our pee in. Let's go and get into it. Number one. The reason why we hold our pee in is because we are in hyper focus mode. Okay? There's many different ways to say that you're in hyper focus mode. You can say, I've hit my stride. I'm locking in. I'm in the zone. I think a lot of people will understand when I say I'm in the zone. You're in the zone. What do we know about being in the zone? It takes a long time to get in the zone. Andrea is saying on TikTok, not me holding it while we speak. Andrea or Andrea, I'm not sure how to say that name. It always trips me up. But Andrea, you have permission to go and pee while you're watching this live stream. You can pee with the door open. You can even let out a little fart. We're not going to judge you. We can't even hear or see you. So you can go use the restroom on the live stream. We're not going to judge you. Okay? Maybe the people in your household will, but we're not going to judge you. Do what you got to do. Andrea says, I'm going now. I just want to say hi. You can stay on the live while you're peeing. You don't have to get off the live to pee. I can't pee while I'm live streaming, but you can pee while I'm live streaming. All right? It takes us so long to get into that zone where we're doing. And that is one of the biggest reasons why we don't want to go pee, because we are in hyper-focus mode. Andrea, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. We're in hyper-focus mode. It takes so long to enter this mode. It takes so long. And if you're brave enough, I challenge you this week to do a time audit. Everybody on here should do a time audit. I've been doing it since May, June, just to see how much work I'm actually doing. And I've been shocked to learn that for a good part of the day, I don't be doing shit. I don't do anything. I waste a lot of time. Not intentionally. I'm not doing anything in my time. I can spend 30 minutes, an hour, hours just staring off into space, being in my own different world. If certain things didn't require me to focus or lock in, I just would forget where I'm at. Time will go by. A lot of us waste time. If you think that you're productive, do a time audit. And Alex Hormozy talks about this online, where he says set 15-minute timers. And every 15 minutes, write down what you've done. You will find out that you probably aren't doing anything. You're not doing a damn thing, but you're appearing to look productive. We waste so much time throughout the day. And for those of us who have ADHD, we spend so much time getting ready to do the thing So when you're finally focused and locked in and you're doing the thing, you know that any interruption to this could lead to you not returning back to that task. So as a result, you punish yourself or you use peeing as a reward because you know that if you get up, you may never come back. This hyper-focus mode is it's so important because this is where we get the bulk of our work done. A lot of neurodivergents in this live stream get a week's worth of work done in a 3-hour block on a random Tuesday. And the rest of the week, you're goofing off. Or you're making it look like you're doing something, but you're not doing anything. You really do all your work in that hyper-focus block. It's hard for us to be consistent every single day where, like Monday, we wake up at this time, we do the same thing. Tuesday, we wake up at this time, we do the same thing. That's very difficult for us. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. You can do it. But it is a bit of a challenge. That's why neurodivergents who are able to own their time and schedule do better. Because to wake up every single day and to be given the task of doing a certain thing can be very difficult. But you know that somewhere within that week, you'll find the spark and you'll get all your work done. And when you're in that mode, you know that you're in that mode. So the fewer the interruptions, the better. So it's all about protecting this hyper-focus mode. So Sina, thank you for the love for the shirt. It's all good in neurodivergent hood. It's all good. It's all good. So, as a result, we will hold our peeing. And a couple of us may have even held our peeing to where we peed on ourselves. Nah. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna call you out if you pee on yourself. I've peed on myself. I've number 2'd on myself before, like I've trusted a fart one too many times. So, we all do it from time to time. All right. But the hyper focus mode, protecting that is so important. It is so, 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 so important. So important. So important. The second reason why we hold our pee in, before I get to the second reason, I like what Laura's saying. I know there's a lot of bowel and urinary biological issues with neurodiversity as well. Oh yeah, as neurodivergents, our gut is messed up. A lot of the times, you can have issues with being impacted. I see this a lot with autistic kids who aren't able to verbalize the fact that they have to use the restroom. Sometimes they deal with impaction, deal with constipation, depending on the medications that you're taking. Mood stabilizers slow down your gut. If they're antipsychotics, antidepressants will mess with your sex drive. So there's so many different reasons as to why we can have gut issues, and that also could impact you using the restroom. Right? The goal is to get us to get up and pee. I freaking miss your lives. Well, I'm back. Damn it. I'm back. Candy says, I don't know why I try and do all the things I need to get done on my way to the washroom. Well, it's because there's this sense of urgency that you have when you know that you have to pee. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll use my pee as like an alarm clock or as a timer. I'll use my pee as a timer to get me to be productive in the next 15 minutes, because at some point I'm going to get up to pee. I may not remember the task that I'm trying to do, but I damn sure won't forget to pee. So by working on the task that I have to get done and holding off to pee, I guarantee that I'll do two things. That's how the neurodivergent brain thinks. It's like, all right, I'm going to forget to do this thing that's very important. So let me do this and let me hold the pee in my bladder, because your body at some point, hold the pee long enough, you'll pee on yourself, right? And you don't want that. If you pee on yourself, you know that the urine carries a smell, and having your thighs stick to each other next to your privates, it leaves a stench, and we don't want that. So you'll get the other tasks done, or you'll be working on it while you're holding your pee, because that's a surefire way to get both things done. Candy says that tracks. Yeah, Candy. These are the brains that we have. So you learn to use your brain. So a lot of undiagnosed neurodivergent people will do things like this, and they don't know that they can have ADHD or autism, but they just kind of do this because they've been doing it their whole lives. You've been doing it your whole life. See some people on TikTok agreeing. I've never had this conversation out loud with anyone, but it's also true. KTX on TikTok. This is the reality that we live in. This is what we do. And when you have a brain like this, and you know how to use this brain, is going to set you up for success, because being forced to play by the neurotypical standards is a big reason why a lot of y'all are sad. You're being forced to do things every day and repeat it, and that's not the best way to use your brain. Your brain is very unique, and all this stuff is individualized, but your brain is unique. So you have a system for how you get things done. When you deviate from that system, whether you did it on your own or whether life forced you to deviate from the system, more than likely, you'll probably struggle. You will probably struggle. So the second reason why neurodivergent people hold their pee in, fear of breaking momentum, right? Fear of breaking momentum. So when you're in this hyper-focused mode, or if you've been getting a lot of things done, a lot of difficult things done, you know that any interruption to whatever you're doing could lead to the end of that thing. If you were working on your taxes and it's the day before they're due, doing anything out of the ordinary, getting up to go pee, you might go pee and realize that you got to take a number 2, and then you're in the bathroom for so long. And then while you're in the bathroom, you're doom scrolling on TikTok and you're laughing, and then your leg goes numb. So when you wake up from being on the toilet and you're like, oh damn, I got work to do, you shake your leg off so you can get circulation back in your leg. You wash your hands. You finish sending a couple of Instagram reels to your friend, and then you go back out into the living room and you forgot what you were doing in the first place. You have broken your momentum. Now, we wait another 2 weeks to recapture momentum, to do what we have to do? Like I said, if you do a time audit, you will see that you waste a lot of time. We spend so much time boosting ourselves up to do the difficult thing, but we're just avoiding doing that difficult thing. So when we finally got a little bit of momentum going and we're able to make progress towards that difficult thing, breaking momentum is a very, very scary thing. It's scary. Chris says I do it sometimes, and Bunny's saying, I feel like I have to finish, but I don't want another UTI, so I have to really push myself to stop. That's another thing, guys. We don't want UTIs, because guess what happens when you have a UTI? You have to take antibiotics. And guess what happens when you prescribe antibiotics? You have to take it for 7 days. You know that it's difficult for you to take pills for 2 days in a row. But because you held your pee in, now you have a UTI. And now you have to take antibiotics for 7 days in a row. Let's say you happen to get to the 3rd or 4th day and you remember to take all your pills. Now, because you've been taking your antibiotics consistently, it's messing up your gut. Now you're having a lot of diarrhea. Now you have to go get probiotics. You see how this goes? We could have just gone to pee. We could have just peed. I mean, we could have just peed. Of course, I'm neurodivergent. That's the question I'm getting on TikTok. How else would I know all this? This was not taught to me in school. I mean, I learned all this at the School of Hard Knocks, my actual life. Camille on LinkedIn, and I just want to say it's so cool to have my LinkedIn folks in here. because this is my real personality I'm showing up with. On LinkedIn, I have to be all buttoned up. I have to be Dr. Kojo, who works at the White House Roundtable, and but sometimes I like to show my ass. So I like get to be my real self, my LinkedIn family. This is my real personality, but on my actual LinkedIn, I have one of my other multiple personalities that I put out there. Trying to follow neurotypical patterns of college student, even if you tend to be more hyper-focused at night. So look, Camille, look, I did this in college. I knew that I studied better at night. So I would pull all-nighters. And there were times when I would hold my pee. I would hold my pee to help me study. But what I would do is I would do all-nighters on Friday night and Saturday night, but not Sunday night because I had school the next day. So you have to figure out what works for yourself. You got to figure out what works for yourself. And Kenny says, this has a conversation with the hubs. I can't feel it until I'm about to burst. Right. I mean, you hold it in until until your balls explode. Like it's about to burst. I know women don't have balls, but you get the point. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Breaking momentum is dangerous. Momentum it's probably the most powerful thing on the planet. Anybody who wants to do anything in life with success, you have to have momentum. And whether you're having momentum within a day or within a week, or you're doing something you're on a roll, when you are locked in, and this is important for you to communicate to your partners and to your kids and to your parents, whoever you live with, when I'm locked in, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Don't even tell me to pee, because the momentum that I have right now is so difficult to capture. When we capture it, we want to hold on to it with all of our might. So the fear of breaking momentum, this is the best concentration you've had all week. You're focusing as best as you've ever focused, and you're down to your last Adderall pill. The last thing you want is somebody coming and asking you, have you had water today? Have you had something to eat? Have you used the restroom? Bathroom break. Remember in school, they would give us bathroom breaks. We had to raise up our hand and ask to go to the bathroom. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Fear of breaking momentum. It's so hard to capture it. It is so hard to capture it. And in both literal and a figurative sense, momentum it's important. If you're working on a creative project and you have a lot of momentum, interrupting it can mess up the magic of the product. I mean, the project. If you're a creative, you know what I'm talking about. Momentum. And some of us can go pee and get right back to that thing, but you better go pee and get right back to it. Don't break the momentum. Now, Camille, this is why it's important to answer questions with the appropriate amount of context. So now, if somebody has bipolar 1 disorder, I would not recommend staying up all night and pulling all-nighters in the name of getting a better grade. With bipolar disorder in general, sleep is crucial and routine is crucial. So yes, I would go to bed at an appropriate time with bipolar 1. Even if you stay better at night, I would. And I would do your best to find times throughout the day where you can really lock in and get some good deep focus in. But with bipolar 1, I would not break sleep for anything. Not for a wedding, not for a birthday party, not for this big bash. I'm just not going to break sleep. Breaking sleep could lead to rehospitalization. So yeah, let's continue to sleep. Let's get sleep. And Buddy says, yep, my husband will want a kiss when he gets home. If I'm focused on something, I'm like, I can't stop. So Buddy on TikTok, I get that. And hopefully your husband gets that, because if he's neurotypical, he could take it the wrong way. Because like as a man, like you've been out there working, fighting the world, fighting people at work, not living, but you have, all this on your shoulders. You come home and your wife doesn't want to give you a kiss. That's very annoying to the neurotypical mind. But if you're in deep focus and you gotta stay locked in, and you can explain that to him, there's a good chance that he'll back off and say, okay, she just needs to rest. That's all. She just needs to rest. She just needs to do her own thing. She needs to be in her own world. So that way she's not interrupted with her focus. Focus is important. And Laura, yes, you if you hold your pee in too much, it can come with a variety of problems. So, like, I'm not telling y'all to. I have a lot of neurodivergents in this live stream who may take things literally, but I'm not telling y'all to hold pee until you get certain key tasks. I'm just saying that sometimes we use the pee as a marker of how much progress we've made. Something that we do. All right. Number three. The third reason why neurodivergent people may hold their pee in is for sensory overload / avoidance. All right. If you are in a Zen state where it's not too loud, it's not too bright, you might be in your room by yourself and it's quiet. It's just the way you want it to be. But you have to go downstairs and pee because there's no restroom upstairs. And as you're thinking about the fact that you have to go pee, you're also thinking about the things that you have to encounter as you go pee. You don't go downstairs. People are loud. People are chewing with their mouths open. People are farting. People are loud. It's just smelly. It's just too much. Or if you're at work and you really got to go pee, but people are making small talk, you don't want to get roped into it. People are laughing at this. Somebody's microwaving their food in the microwave, and the smell of the food, you don't like it. Sensory avoidance, sensory overload. You want to pee, but you're asking yourself, at what cost? And if you've ever been in a state where you're unbothered, or you're working on something intensely, or you really have to pee, but you're almost done with a certain task and you just want to finish that first, you know that being interrupted or being thrown off, yeah, that's pretty bad. And that may be the worst thing. But also deciding to go pee and then realizing that, damn, not because I went to go pee, this person's talking to me, this person wants this of me, that person wants this of me. Now I have more things to do because I went to go pee, and all this happened. And if you've ever been so deeply focused into something or so unbothered, you probably have had a thought come in your head where you're like, damn, like I wish I could just have a way to pee in my room by myself. A lot of us would take that option. Like if we could self-catheterize ourselves, find a way to pee in your room, or like if there's a way that we could pee or use the restroom without leaving our rooms, or if we didn't have to pee as neurodivergents, if we could press a button to where we didn't have to pee, I think every single neurodivergent would press that button. And probably a lot of neurotypicals would, but I know for sure a lot of neurodivergents would press that button. You press a button where you don't have to pee or use the restroom anymore. Shoot, sign me up. And O1 says, this convo is weird because this is me at work. Yeah, and depending on where you work at, hopefully you like your coworkers enough to at least talk to them. Some people can't think of a single coworker that they like, and some people like their coworkers, but this takes a lot of mental effort to engage in small talk. And it's like I gotta pee, like I gotta pee, I gotta pee. I wish I didn't make it from my bed to the bathroom. Right. if you could just make the urine disappear. Think about that. Like if we had, not like an ostomy bag, but if we had like a reservoir where all of our urine and feces is at, somewhere in some trash can, some power plant, just some trash can way out there, wherever that's at. If we could just press a button and deposit all of our urine and all of our fecal matter into this waste, like if we could airdrop pee, we would do that. Same way you airdrop a file to somebody, you just airdrop the pee. It's like somebody's like, "Oh, you haven't used the restroom all day. Are you okay?" I'm fine. I airdropped the pee. I airdropped the poop. Like I'm good. I already used the restroom. I did it quickly. I pressed a button and I've been able to airdrop all of my internal, you know. I take that option. Candy, wouldn't that be nice? Airdropping the pee. What if it can appear in someone's house who you hate? Hey, that's one way to look at it. You could just have the, but that's pretty foul. You would just drop. Nah. If you have some enemies, I know that's a very enticing option for you. It's a very enticing option. Yeah, but as neurodivergents, this makes sense to us. We look for the most efficient way to get things done. We look to be not bothered, as unbothered as possible. I think a lot of people would prefer to be unbothered, but when we are bothered, it can lead to a lot of mood swings, a lot of irritability, sometimes aggression. And we know that for everybody's best interest, it's probably best for us to just be by ourselves. Not all the time, but we need some alone time. The neurodivergent who doesn't get sufficient alone time throughout the day is a very irritable person. You need some alone time. Back to 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 back demands will lead to a lot of anger and aggression. Yeah, a lot of anger and aggression. And Chris says, "What are signs that that you are neurodivergent?" Oh, we can do that in another live stream. We'll do that another live stream, and we'll aim to go live much more often. Maybe with this background, maybe with the other background. We'll switch it up from time to time. Find a way to make it organized, but I kind of do miss his background now that I'm looking at it. I do miss the late night show classic background. And yeah, this will be a live stream right here. I know y'all like these live streams, signs that you're neurodivergent, so we will do that. And we also have to do, I have a lot of these live streams that we can do. Signs that pretty much where I've been posting recently, the content that y'all have been digging, signs of undiagnosed autism in adult women. We can do that live stream. We could do one for every day of the week for that. Signs that you have undiagnosed autism in men. My most recent video, that can be its own live stream. And I'm working on making the live streams 30 minutes to an hour long, shorter, but more frequent. That's what I'm working on, because I can stay out here for 4 hours, but shorter but more frequent. I'm looking to do. Chris says, "What about a neurodivergent that's too alone?" So yeah, we don't want to be too alone. And there's a big difference between being alone and enjoying it and knowing that people are somewhere, and being alone and really enjoying it because you know that you can have access to human interaction when you want it. I think when you're alone and you know that it's going to take an act of Congress to connect with people, or you're far away from anybody who you want to be with, and you're going to really be stuck there, that can be pretty damn lonely. And then sometimes that you can be around people that you enjoy and you still feel lonely. And that's normally because of a lack of connection. So Two alone can definitely be an issue. It can definitely be an issue. So, ADHD is a challenge. Oh, guys, I mean, using the using the bathroom in public is another thing. I'm traumatized from attending public school in Nashville, Tennessee, growing up. You could not use the restroom in school. Don't you dare try and take a number two at school. Don't you do it. May as well wear diapers and poop on yourself. You take a number two at school, heck no. The kids are gonna look underneath the stall and they're gonna look at your shoes. And then when you're walking in the hallway, they're gonna point, they're gonna laugh at you. Don't you dare try to take a number two in public school. Nah. And somebody TikTok saying regression in autism. That's a good topic right there. That's a good live stream topic. Facts. Big facts. Laura says, you don't realize how important alone time is until you're deprived of it, whether having to be more social due to work or being a parent. Yes, alone time is so important. You need time to sit there by yourself and just stare at the wall. Just stare at the wall. I'm weak. You need time to just sit there at the wall and don't do anything. And as neurodivergents, we have to train people to know that our free time is not our available time. Just because I'm free doesn't mean I'm available. You have to really let people know this. Let your friends know this. Let your girl know this. Let your man know this. Let people know, hey, when I'm free, it doesn't mean that I'm available. I just happen to be free. But I'm free for myself. But I'm not free to do the things that you want me to do, especially at the last second. Let me breathe. Let me live. Let me live. My kid blew a bathroom in the purple class. Bryce, thank you so much, my guy. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your attention. And shout out to my whole community on Facebook. I keep saying this, but shout out to my whole community on Facebook. I really appreciate y'all. About a week and a half ago, we crossed 1 billion views within the year. That's 1 billion views just this year alone. I'm not even counting previous years. So thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I love each and every one of y'all. My whole community everywhere, but this has been a very special year for us on Facebook. So it means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Because of my ADHD, I have to be alone because I don't fit in with anything. That's what you think. That's what you think, but there are people out there who are like you, who are as amazing as you, who are as weird as you, who are as curious as you. And it's just about finding those folks. It's about finding those folks. And yeah, what's your point of pedal? Just because you're free does not mean that you are available. It can be difficult for the people in your life to really understand. But just because I'm free, damn it don't mean that I'm available. I'm just free. And normally you tend to not tell people that you're free. Like you tend to say, oh, I'm busy. I think I'm doing something. You know good and well you don't have a damn thing scheduled that day, but you're saying that because that's the only way you can get some time to yourself. We've all done it. We've all done it. We've all done it. How to deal with shame spiraling at work. Well, first of all, if you're dealing with shame, you're dealing with a lot of guilt, feeling bad for the things that you've done, and it turns into shame where you don't like yourself. So for all of us as neurodivergents, it's important to reframe your relationship with shame. Shame is what gets us to do, right? People don't make a change when they understand something. They make a change when they feel something. A lot of times you have to feel shame to get up and do things. So shame can be a catalyst for change, and that's fine. That's good, right? Whatever it takes for us to start something, we will take that. But reframing your relationship with shame to where it doesn't impact your identity, I think that would be very important for all of us as neurodivergents. How can I stop talking over people? Read their lips as they're talking, and that can be helpful. Candy facts. I'm a free bird. I'm a free bird. If you are neurodivergent and you're a free bird, like me, it behooves you to have the people in your life know that you are a free bird. I'm a free bird. Don't try and change me. I will leave you before I leave myself. I'm a free bird. I'm a free bird. I'm as free as a bird could be. Don't change me. I'm a free bird. And when people in your life know this, they'll have to accept you as a free bird, or, they'll try and change you, and you'll put those boundaries up and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to conform to this. This is not who I am. And Laura, I like the fact that these live streams have been working for you. I am looking at switching up to different times and making sure that I can go live for my UK boys and girls a little earlier today. But these live streams work better for me. But we're always trying different things. Even the KS Codosoffer logo at the top right, I feel like with this background, we may have to make it black so people can clearly see it. I'm a stickler over like the small little things. So I'm like, oh, I want that to look better. I want that to look better. It's a perfectionism in me. Free bird, right, buddy, right. I'm a free bird, damn it. I think it's ADHD, but what to do with the need of constant reassurance? Let me ask this question, and then I gotta get on a late night meeting. As an entrepreneur, the day never ends. The day never ends. Somebody asks on TikTok what to do about the constant need for reassurance. So if you constantly need reassurance, you put yourself in a tough spot, because it means you have to feel a certain way in order to sometimes be okay, to be good. And reassurance is something that we all need. We need reassurance in the form of compliments, in the form of statements that are affirming, in the form of friendship and companionship and relationships, yes. But if you are in any type of interpersonal relationship with somebody and they know that you need reassurance, then they have power over you, because they can withhold reassurance, they can withhold compliments, they can withhold certain things with the intention of getting a certain reaction out of you, and they will get that reaction out of you because you need reassurance to feel okay. And the majority of us can't survive in the state of uncertainty, let alone thrive. It's very difficult. You have to rig your nervous system to be okay with dealing with uncertainty, right? Not knowing when the next compliment or the next paycheck or when the next thing is going to come. But the way you would deal with needing reassurance from people is learning how to reassure yourself, learning how to become your own biggest fan, learning how to self-regulate and tell yourself that you're okay in the moment, tell yourself that you're good, and also make sure that you're safe. Because if you're trying to reassure yourself and your environment is crappy, there's no affirmation, there's no chant that you can say or do or cross your legs Indian style that would make you feel better. So if your environment is unsafe, then yes, you would have to address things like that before any type of self-reassurance would work. But this is you dealing with yourself. You dealing with yourself. You learn to love yourself. You learn to put yourself first. Putting yourself first doesn't mean putting other people last. It does mean putting them second, third, and fourth, which is not a crime. But if you get all of your self-esteem from helping other people and you've built your identity into that, then helping yourself feels like a very foreign concept. So, great question. Great question. Great question. Tab, I appreciate that. We're going to have a lot more bipolar 2 content coming out. I've seen a couple more folks talk about bipolar 2 disorder online, but not a lot of people. And the unaliving rates are higher in bipolar 2 than they are in bipolar 1. So we're not going to get into like, oh, which one's worse or who needs more awareness. Everybody needs awareness, but bipolar 2 is not talked about nearly enough. Nearly enough. And whoa, you don't have to ask questions. You don't have to pay to ask questions on the live stream. The live stream is free. Free for everybody. Whoa, do you have a question? Whoa, we're on TikTok. If you have a question, I'll answer your question real quick before I hop on this meeting that I have in 3 minutes. But the live stream, live stream is free. This is where I get the most interaction with people. I just can't check my DMs. There's so many. I check my DMs when I'm flying, and I'm on a plane. I've checked emails and stuff like that. But this is the best way to get my attention. It really is. Raina asks for advice to deal with narcissistic African parents. Set boundaries, and when you get the chance to leave the house and be independent, do so. Stop taking mommy and daddy's money if you can, and be independent. So Wo's question is, how do you know if you choose to go back to people who you have to be patient with or stay alone? So Wo, if you have to be patient with somebody, that's not a sign that you cannot have a relationship with them. But if you're having to exert a lot of mental energy to be around somebody, if everything feels heavier than you feel like it should be, that's a sign that you could be misaligned. The person may not be a bad person, but the person could be somebody who drains you. So I think what could be helpful is writing a pros and cons list, and also paying attention to how you feel around this person. Does it feel heavy to be around this person? Does it feel like a responsibility to be around this person? How much of yourself do you have to edit to be around this person? Clearly, you can't be a free bird around them, because you have to be very patient with them. If you feel like you're walking on eggshells, that's not sustainable. It's family, but I think I'd be miserable. But I might also feel that way if I cut them off. So, guys, here's the thing with family. I love my family more than anything else in the world. I love them. But they know, and I've told them, if you get in my way of what I want to do, if being around you is a detriment to me and prevents me from reaching my goals, I will walk away from you. I will walk away from my mom, my dad, my siblings, the woman that I love, if it prevents me from doing what I have to do. And I mean it. I mean it. I will walk away from any and everything that does not serve me. You only get one life, and I'm not going to live this life miserably. So having that conversation with family, it'll go a long way, and your relationship with them will improve, because it's the elephant in the room. They feel as if you have an obligation to them, because we're a family, right? We're family, so like we will always be family. Yeah, we will always be family, but we may not always be friends. We're always family, but we may not always be in close proximity. I might see you once or twice, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, that type of thing. But to spend a lot of time voluntarily around people that make you feel a certain type of way, they don't show signs of changing. Okay. All right, cool. I'm out. I'm not saying cut off your family, but you can spend less time with family that makes you feel a certain type of way. You don't have to cut them off. You ain't gotta cut them off, but you can spend less time with them. Do not let family, guys. And I'm the right person to ask, because I have been in situations where I've let family, do certain things to me, or I've let a girl that I was dating or a best friend talk a certain type of way to me, or just because, that's the homie, man. That's the homie. That's my girl. That's my auntie. That's my mom. That's my brother. No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I'm not doing that. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. And when you get to that point where you really don't care, that's when family starts to respect your boundaries. It's so sad. You have to get to the point where you don't care. And then all of a sudden, now everybody wants to play nice. But when you care deeply, you can change your behavior. Think about all the times in life that you knew you should have done something, but you still didn't do it, or you felt like you couldn't do it. Think about how long it took you to change. Now, how long do you think your family members will change? How much time do you think they need? It could take forever. It could take 12 years for them to do the thing that you want them to do. So we can wait 12 years, or we can wait a lifetime. Or we can take the power into our hands and say, I'm good. I'm good. And not wanting something is just as good as having it. Keep that in mind. I heard that quote by Naval Ravikant. Changed my life. Not having something is just as good as having it. We no longer have the desire for something. I'm good. I'm Gucci. Oh, this person is somebody I love, but I no longer want this relationship with this person because of how it's affecting me. No, we can be cordial, but I'm no longer putting all my effort and time and desire. Not wanting something is just as good as having it. So how about we want less things, and the things that we want, we focus on wanting better things that actually help us out. What a concept. What a concept. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for tonight's live stream. It's a shorter one. Obviously, we tried to go live earlier and we ran into a couple of issues. So that's it's not ideal at all. But it does feel good to be back with the late night overlay outline. It's pretty cool. And we were live for about an hour today. So I'm going to look to make these live streams maybe around this length, like 30 minutes to an hour type shit, that type of thing. And we're going to make the lives based off of the videos that have been going viral. I think people, that lets me know what people want to see. So the signs of undiagnosed autism in women. We have like 7-8 parts in that series. So that's 8 live streams. That's 8 whole live streams. And then also we have the series that we're doing with the undiagnosed autism in men as well. We flipped it around. We've never done that before. It's pretty interesting. So I'm excited to get these live streams going. I'm excited to get them jumping. We have one more live stream tomorrow. And then Thursday is a travel day. I'm on the East Coast this weekend. But I still think that I can get a couple of lives in. So I'll be looking to do that in New York later on this week. But that'll be it for tonight's live stream. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Regardless of what platform you're watching me on, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, or X, whatever they call it. I do appreciate you. And I feel so grateful and fortunate that you give me your attention tonight. So until the next live stream, which is tomorrow at 6 o'clock California time, which is 9 o'clock New York, which is 8 o'clock Nashville, which is 7 o'clock in Phoenix, which is 6 o'clock in Seattle and Los Angeles, which is 5 o'clock in Alaska, and which is 3 o'clock in Honolulu, Hawaii, and it's also 1 a.m. in the United Kingdom. So until then, I love you and I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Thank you if we can.